Hi you guys, it's Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video that I'm very excited to chat with you guys about. I am going to be sharing a variety of different sustainable brands from different price points and in different areas of the fashion industry. I also want to mention before I get into this video that I am coming from a place of no judgment. I understand it is not the easy route to take the sustainability route, and it's also often a lot more expensive. I personally believe that you can make a huge difference with positive action. I believe that we should encourage brands that are doing their best to make a difference, especially because it is impossible to be 100% sustainable. There's still so much room for improvement. So I think it's important that we tell brands with our money, or even just like via a comment or message on social media, that we notice that they're trying to make a difference. And we can also ask questions in a positive way if we are interested in a brand's initiatives when it comes to sustainability and ethics. The first brand I have to talk about is Booty. They are an activewear, underwear, basics brand. They are actually sponsoring this video. I believe they found me from my last video on sustainable fashion, which is really cool. I have some of their pieces here with me now. I use these to work out. I've been wearing them to like every yoga and Pilates class since I got them. So they have a variety of different core items that are super comfortable. They're made from bamboo viscose, which conserves a significant amount of water compared to cotton. And they also use a closed loop system during production to recycle water. No pesticides or fertilizers are required to grow the bamboo, and it is also FSC certified. And that pretty much just means that the bamboo does not contribute to natural habitat loss or destruction. They also have the confidence in textile certification, which I know if you watched my last video, you heard me mention it. That is just a certification that what you are wearing is clean of any dangerous substances or chemicals. They also have the WRAP certification, which is a certification that ensures that their production facilities have lawful and ethical conditions. And then in addition to that, they have the ISO 14001 certification, which ensures that their production facilities follow regulations to reduce their negative environmental impact and just all in all contribute to the environmental pillar of sustainability. Also, Booty is a brand that sells online, and they take care by using recyclable packaging and vegetable-based inks. Vegetable-based inks are generally easier to recycle. So I will have Booty linked down below if you guys are interested in checking it out. I believe they also have a coupon code for me, so I'll have that as well. Now we're gonna get into shoes, which is such a tricky one, I find, especially in terms of leather shoes and non-leather shoes and all of the other materials in between, but shoes are often made of leather. So I'll get into that soon, but first I want to talk about Doc Martens. I wasn't originally planning on putting them in this video, but in one of my last videos I was getting a lot of questions about them and what their sustainability initiatives were, so I wanted to discuss them. I also want to mention that there are a variety of different websites that you can use to rank brands. Just something to keep in mind if you are looking at those websites. The information often isn't up to date because there are so many brands to track, of course, and usually those websites aren't highly funded. Also, I find that sometimes they can be a bit harsh. Like, you never really see anyone that has a grade like above a C. But anyways, Doc Martens, they have an entire section on their website where they outline their code of conduct with their suppliers, and it just goes into all of the things that you want to know about when you're looking at someone's production facility, especially when they outsource to other countries that are sometimes known for not having the best working conditions. So basically they clarify no child labor, safe hygienic conditions, living wages, freedom of association, which is an important thing with big brands. There are bigger brands that have been known to lock in factories, and for example, a factory might have this humongous client, and then that client has so much power and hold the factory owner and everyone that works at the factory's well-being in their hands, and sometimes big brands can abuse that. So it's great to know that a bigger brand allows freedom of association within their factory. They also talk about like no excessive hours, and then in addition to that, they discuss their audit process for making sure that all of their guidelines are followed and how they amend things if they realize something is going wrong. They talk about subcontracting and homeworking, which is another huge thing that you have to worry about when you are outsourcing to another country, because you aren't always there to figure out what's going on, and there's the language barrier, of course, and there's just like little things that can happen that you may never know about. So Doc Martens does not allow subcontracting or homeworking without their prior approval and looking into whatever site this subcontracting would happen at. Doc Martens does not use conflict materials. They also really acknowledge that they still have room to improve. They go into their leather and animal welfare and how leather contributes to the environment on their website as well. So something to look out for if you are a leather buyer is an LWG certification. A couple brands that I'm going to mention in this video have the LWG certification. That sort of just ensures that the leather that is being used in their products does not contribute to the Amazon deforestation. It's also important to note that generally leather is a byproduct of the meat industry. I think a lot of people don't know that. Of course, not exotic leathers. Doc Martens does not use exotic leathers. Also, under the LWG, tanneries are audited to determine emissions to air, waste streams, energy consumption, water usage, and in the adherence to the restricted substances legislation. The tanning process of leather is also another big reason why leather is sometimes viewed as non-sustainable. There are some different tanning methods that are coming about that are being a lot more widely used, and usually the tanning is done with vegetables like olives, for example, which is generally a lot better than harmful chemicals. Doc Martens also goes into animal welfare on their website. They state that they don't use fur, all their leathers are a byproduct of the meat industry, and that they also have their vegan line. The next shoe brand I have for you is Veja, and they source a lot of their raw materials from organic farms and ecological agriculture. It's one of their core values. Each sneaker sole is made from 30 to 40% natural rubber, and since 2004, Veja has purchased 140 tons of wild rubber, preserving 120,000 hectares of the Amazon. I will link some interesting things about rubber down below, because I don't think I have time to get into it right now. Veja has also experimented with using fish leather, which is something that you don't often hear about, but the fish leather is often something that is scrapped from freshwater fish farms. So Veja sort of upcycles that and can use it for their products. They also have a mesh fabric made entirely from recycled plastic, cotton, and jute. And I read something from them that on average it takes 3 plastic bottles to make a pair of sneakers. One more shoe brand that I thought I would just throw in here, because I actually get recommended this brand from you guys a lot, and it is Rambo. It's basically a vegan luxury streetwear shoe brand. It's not totally my style. I feel like the shoes are a little bit too funky for me. I still think they're cool, but the founder seems great from my extensive research in the past couple days. So a big issue with vegan shoes is that they are often made of plastic. PVC is worse than PU. There's usually PU and synthetic leather still. And most brands that focus on sustainability will refuse to use PVC in their products. But the founder has committed to innovating with synthetics, making the luxury industry really take notice that synthetics can be luxury. It doesn't have to be a dead animal, and that you can also be really innovative and use plants to base your product. Like I've talked about this before with you guys, but there are a variety of different plant-based leathers coming out, whether they are made from pineapple bark or olives or agricultural waste. So I think it's really cool that he is getting on that in the early stages. Now into some clothing brands. I am briefly going to mention my own brand, but I don't want this to be a self-promotion video. I have my own brand Staatsballet with my partner Avery. We are releasing a new collection very soon for spring, summer, and I'm really excited this time around because it is primarily made of dead stock materials. We also have a fabric that we've used in our previous collections that is made from recycled plastic bottles and organic cotton. We produce our collections here in the United States and focus on having a very local supply chain. And we are always looking for ways to improve, and just a big thing from the beginning is that we have wanted sustainability to really be ingrained as a core value in our brand. So that's all I'll say about that. Next is Colin Estrada. I felt like I had to mention them because of their recent fashion show at New York Fashion Week. I will link some clips and press articles from the runway show down below if you guys are interested in checking it out. I also wanted to mention Eckhouse-Lada. I'm currently wearing Avery's Eckhouse-Lada pants. I don't actually own any myself. Eckhouse-Lada is an interesting one. They are a brand that you actually can't find that much information about on their website, about their sustainability initiatives, which I wanted to touch on that as well, because I think it's important that as a consumer you can sort of determine when a brand is using sustainability more as a marketing push than one of their core values, because sustainability is such a buzzword right now. And I think it's also important to note that just because a brand doesn't have like a 10-page document, plus some documents on some brands are like hundreds of pages detailing their sustainability initiatives, does not mean that they are not putting efforts in place to do so. But I think Eckhouse-Lada is interesting. I know in the past they've used a lot of dead stock fabrics. They've mentioned how this has become a lot more challenging as their brand has grown. If you don't know, dead stock fabric, it's usually limited quantities because it's fabric that you purchase from someone that doesn't want it anymore. It's sort of like purchasing secondhand fabric, stuff that may otherwise go in the trash. They also have local production and local supply chains, which is always a good thing for the environment, to not have your product being shipped all around the world before it even gets into the brand's hands, let alone the consumer's hands. Next, I wanted to mention Nushka, which is a Budapest-based brand. I recently got a package from them and it was packaged very thoughtfully, definitely with an emphasis on the environment. I've also noticed in their past collections that they have been using some different vegan luxury leathers, so I wanted to shout that out for those of you that have been asking me where you can find high quality vegan leather products. I know sustainability isn't their biggest marketing push, but it is something that they have ingrained in their brand. Next is Backbeat Rags, which is a Los Angeles-based brand. They have a lot of solid colored, sort of flowy, very California pieces. I have some different t-shirts from them that I really love, and they use hemp and organic cotton for their products, and they also focus on having a very local supply chain. A denim brand that I wanted to mention, because denim consistently gets a bad rep for being horrible for our environment, is Nudie Jeans. It's primarily a menswear company, but they do have some women's styles that they've introduced recently. They won the Sustainable Fashion Award for 2018. They have a reuse line where they clean and repair pre-loved denim and then resell it. And they also have something funny on their website, I believe as of November 2018, that says, "Hey vegans, our beef is over," because they stopped using a leather patch on their jeans. They also offer free repairs on all of their products if anything happens to go awry after you purchase, which is really cool. And then I just have to throw two out there that I feel like you guys probably know, but if I didn't mention them, I'd probably get so many comments about it. And that is Reformation. I referenced Reformation sustainability initiatives a lot in my last sustainable fashion video. I will link a podcast down below where their founder talks about building a sustainable billion-dollar brand. That's their goal, and they are definitely an industry leader in terms of that. And then Stella McCartney, because she is also such an industry leader. I think she's definitely one of the front runners for sustainability and luxury, also for using vegan leathers in luxury. I will have their website linked below because I think it's also a great source for education, even if you aren't the craziest about Stella McCartney for some reason. Those are all of the brands I want to discuss today. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any brands that you think I should check out, definitely leave them in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to having a discussion with you guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!